Heather Stants, and the Urban Tribal Dance Company.
My name is Heather Stants. I'm the director of Urban Tribal Dance Company. We are based in San Diego, California. I have been in San Diego just a little over 4 years, and the company's been in existence for just about 4 years.
My name is Denise Murphy, and I'm from Solano County, California, which is halfway between Sacramento and San Francisco, but it's just easier to say the Bay Area because no one knows where my town of Suisun is, or they don't know how to pronounce it.
My name is Dina Freeman. I've been born and raised here in San Diego, so I've been here all my life. I travel a lot, so I've been to other cities, but I've never moved away. This is home to me.
My name is Melodia, and I was born in Ecuador, and I moved here when I was 4 years old, and I've lived in San Diego for over 20 years.
My name is Laura Rogan Gravel. I live here in San Diego. I went to high school here in San Diego, California, but I was born in Los Angeles, and my family moved down here when I was probably about 13. And after high school, I moved up to San Francisco for about 10 years, and then I ended up coming back home to San Diego.
My name is Sherri Wheatley. I originally grew up in Tempe, Arizona, and I moved here because it's the natural migratory instinct. People from Arizona to move to San Diego, so they call us zonies here.
For me right now, tribal appeals to me. I like the music, especially the type of tribal that Urban Tribal does or Ultra Gypsy does. The electronica influence is the kind of music that I enjoy listening to on my own, so to be able to dance to that is something that I really enjoy. Also the fact that most tribal groups are a troupe base, it's not really a solo thing. Being able to interact and having that, group experience, all collaborating together is very appealing. But I also really like the cabaret, American cabaret style, and I also really love, the traditional folkloric dances and Egyptian, and those are other things that I want to be learning as well. So I don't see myself as always being a tribal dancer. I don't want to label myself as a tribal dancer.
I was involved in theater most of my life, so I did a little bit of dancing during the theater training that I had, and I took some modern dance in the beginning of college, also some African dancing, and I started taking classes from Heather in American Tribal Style about 4 years ago when she started teaching here in San Diego.
I've been a performance artist for the last few years. I like to dance with fire fingers and fire fans, and poi, and made a fire sword and experimented dancing with a flaming sword on my head, which was fun. A little dangerous, but fun.
Tribal is definitely what inspires me. I like collaborating with other dancers. I like the visual impact of a group of dancers. And there's a lot of support, a feeling of support that comes from being out there with other people, and it's so much more enjoyable to me than just kind of being out there by myself and wondering if I'm interesting. I think that when you have a group of people dancing together, it's really beautiful, and you have so many more options.
In the last couple years, I've been getting a lot of tattoo work done. I have on my right arm, I have a Devadasi, which is a temple dancer from Orissa in India. I've always been very inspired by the classical Indian dance, and especially the hand movements and the head movements and the eyes. It's just very fascinating to me. And then I have some peacock feathers up on the top, and it comes down, and then the lower half of my left arm is my Ode to Bellydance arm. So that's being worked on. It's a kind of a work in progress. It takes a while to, have these tattoos put on.
The history of my hair and the way it is now, I guess it started with overprocessing. I've always loved having color in my hair, particularly red, and after maybe one or two too many treatments, I was concerned that my hair was just going to like fry off. So that's when I decided to start turning them into dreads, and it turned out to be a happy accident. Sometimes I keep it pulled back so I can kind of get through my grocery shopping without too many questions.
Originally, Urban Tribal had 6 members, and those people came from my class. And that was Marty Love, Thalia Dreesen, Laura Rogan, Cassie Mavis, Wendy Tilka, and myself. Shortly after we formed, within 6 months of us being a troupe, we were named Best Bellydance in San Diego by the local entertainment paper, The Reader. So that was an honor. I mean, I don't know that it was something that people voted for. I think it was more like an acknowledgement of people who were doing the column and saw what we were doing and really liked it. You know, I don't know what their criteria for judging was, but it was an honor to, like, within 6 months to have some sort of acknowledgement like that was great. We started out very Fat Chance tribal. And then just everybody started like bringing in their influences, and different people had costuming skills. Like Marty, she was always making skirts or belts or hair pieces, and she started bringing in costuming, and different people started suggesting different things. You know, everybody in the troupe was itching to get rid of the bubble turbans. You know, they were like, I got hair, I've got good hair. You know, especially when Melodia came in and she had like big, beautiful dreadlocks. It was like, oh my God, we cannot put a turban on that girl. She will not wear a turban. Her head is a turban. And it just started to change from there. But the biggest thing for me was Jill Parker. She is like my hugest dance inspiration. And I went to Ricasa in maybe, I think it was 1998 or 99. And her company started out in the turbans, cholis. They did a choreographed piece, like 15 people on stage. And then half of them left the stage and came back, no turbans, no cholis, wearing just like black simple skirts with simple belts. And they were doing beautiful, slinky, sexy movements and using modern music, you know, the music that we dance to in clubs. She was using modern music, and that just blew my mind. It opened the door of the possibilities of what we could do. The girls here were already so costume oriented. They already had a lot of ideas, and I started listening more, you know, like they started bringing, you know, it was hot in San Diego. We got rid of our cholis. We started by doing smaller head wraps too, where we would just sort of like let half of our hair out or have buns and let them stick out and then have scarves around the top. We started just changing and experimenting with what worked for us. Everybody in the group is pretty much inspired by like modern, fun, funky music. A lot of the girls really like hip hop, and so do I. And quite often it'll be like somebody will bring in a CD and say, listen to this song, or listen to this snippet of this song. And then we listen to it, and then we think about what we can do to it. You know, so everybody brings music. So we're always looking for really interesting music that maybe other people wouldn't think to use, and then trying to mix it in a way that it's very unique, that nobody else is going to have that mix. We do both improv and choreography. For small cafe gigs, it's improv, unless we have a choreography that might fit in that venue. If we can scale it down to only be 2 dancers or 3 dancers, we might put it in a cafe setting. But for cafes, we do improv, and we use a system of movements and cues that are like loosely based on the Fat Chance belly dance, but then we have our own combinations and our own movements that are very different. When it's a stage show, we always choreograph. So if it's a festival like Tribal Fest, Spirit of the Tribes, if we ever do Ricasa, that kind of thing, Samita Fair, it's a choreography. We choreograph to use the stage. And also we want to always, when we go to these festivals, we want to bring the best that we can bring, and we want to interpret the music, and we want to do something a little more creative than we can accomplish through a system of movements and cues and improvisation. We've always performed in non-traditional venues. You know, from the very beginning, we had a cafe gig, like a small art cafe and gallery. That's the kind of crowd that we went for. It wasn't a Middle Eastern restaurant crowd. We've done a couple of those gigs, but it's not been our interest. And I feel like we have, through going to different venues, we've reached a different audience. And I know a lot of tribal troupes have done that and have experienced that. I know in Chicago that's what we did. We went and we found our own gigs at different festivals and different venues and sort of created our own community. And then we still did a little bit of the Middle Eastern restaurant thing, but we definitely got a lot more exposure in the alternate venues. So I think we've opened some people's eyes to belly dance as like entertainment and as fun fitness. And, you know, I have all kinds of students age 10 to age 60. You know, all kinds of people take classes. So I think we've had a little bit of an impact in the community here. In the Zagorete Golden Belly Awards, we were voted Troupe of the Year for 2003, which is a huge honor because it was voted on by our friends and our peers and the people that support us and the people that read that magazine. So that was a huge honor. I'm not even sure that we fit into what is the established definition of tribal anymore, because if you look at tribal as being the established style of fat chance belly dance, we're not that. We might be better classified as a fusion, or right now I feel that urban tribal has become a phrase, and a lot of other troupes are adopting it as well. It seems to describe the sort of like urban music and art and performance culture that has come about. A little bit of DJ culture. There's like urban tribal DJ culture. I do like that we are doing something different, and I feel like we are pioneering something new. I'd say maybe it does stop us from being asked to do some of the bigger shows. You know, we're overly accepted in the tribal festival circuit. You know, we're definitely asked to come and perform and teach. You know, they love it. They love the change. They love the innovation that everybody's doing. A lot of groups are doing. But I think, you know, I have asked to be in some other shows that maybe are geared toward more traditional or more cabaret or more, you know, different styles or more Egyptian style. And, you know, I haven't gotten anything on that, you know. So that's a challenge. Just that if I want to be in that venue, maybe we're not going to be accepted there. The shows where they want Egyptian style, you know, or even the shows where they might want like a folkloric or an ATS group, we probably wouldn't be asked. I keep thinking that pretty soon we might not even be able to be in the tribal festivals, although they have expanded their definition to go along with everybody's changes. But I don't know, some of the things that we do, I wouldn't say is tribal or belly dance at all, you know. But it also may open up other areas for us. You know, maybe we'll get more club gigs, which we have. You know, we've done belly go-go dancing in clubs off and on for the past year. Belly go-go dance with fire, and, you know, Melodia travels and does like costume theatrical stuff for DJs. Then maybe we'll go in more of that direction. I'm feeling really good about what's going on right now in our group. Like, I feel really like people are pretty open with what they feel, you know, and everything's, right now I feel like communication is pretty good and it's a good place.
Wow, what great moves. If you would like to find out more information about this great new troupe, visit them on the web at urbantribaldance.com. Now, you've just